Hey, everybody, welcome to Journaling with Intention with me, Amy Hill, and I'm really excited to have you here. This is our sixth week that we've been doing this, and we're getting ready now for March. So let me know that you are here. Just drop me a line in the comments, and it would be fabulous if you could share this while we're live and just let everybody know that this is an opportunity to check in with themselves and check in with their week and set up their week and monthly intentions, because that's going to be our goal today, is to set up the month of March. Hi, Tina. I hope you're doing, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Melly. Hi, Alicia. I hope that you are staying a little bit warm up there where you are. And it's so nice to have you here. And again, it would be fabulous if you shared this while we're live, just to invite anybody in who would appreciate taking a moment in their busy lives to say, hey, this is what I want to focus on for the week. These are the things that I'm working on for myself, and this is what I need to do. Of course, these are all also on my YouTube live on my channel under the live tab, and so you can get the recordings at any time and share those out. Wow, Alicia, dropping to negative 25 Fahrenheit today. Whoa, that's crazy. Hi, Ann. I hope you're doing well. So I am going to get started today because we got a lot to do. We are going to be setting up our intentions for the month. So we're looking forward to March. We're going to be reviewing a little bit of how we did last week, and then setting up our first week in March. So let me know in the chat right now, how did you do? How's your week been? How's it going? Is there anything that you think that you have been able to set up and become a habit for yourself? Is there anything that you want that you're like, maybe this is something that I need to switch and change? So let me know in the chat, what is it and how did your week go? So for me, I was on vacation this week from school, and I think I took a much needed break from everything. So I ended up not doing a lot of tracking this week. I just kind of existed. I watched Downton Abbey for the third time, the entire season, and really enjoyed every single minute of it. So let me know, how did your week go? How are you doing in your intentions and setting up the things that you want to do? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot my camera down. So we'll start with our last week page, and I'll review where we've come from and then what we're going to be heading towards. All right. Woohoo. That's awesome, Tina. That is fabulous. Losing a little bit of weight. Always helpful. Here we go. All right. Less walking. Yeah, and that's the way to think about it, Alicia. Doing better this week. It's not even, it's really about kind of moving forward in it. It's like, okay, I know I didn't do that. So what was it last week that kept me from hitting the goals that I need to have? And so now you're going to add in new exercise, or you're like, maybe that's going to be my focus, etc. And I wanted to I want to actually start here because I really did nothing. So although I had some intentions, I did nothing. And it's not a thing, I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up and be like, oh, you didn't do it, whatever. It's more like, you know what? Now I know I have to put this in, and kind of, this is where I need to end my day. So I'm going to put this in a place where I know I'm going to have it. So where can I put this? Maybe next to a tea mug, maybe, where do I end my day? Maybe it goes while I brush my teeth. So I'm gonna stick this habit onto something else to make sure that I'm doing it. Because it was like, I'm good when things are shiny and new, and I tend to do them. But then after a while, I'm like, yeah, I just don't have the motivation, or I'm just not interested anymore. So I end up kind of not doing it. Hi, Avril. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Avril? And didn't mail any cards, Anne. So that's one thing. Yep. But that might be your intention this week. And that's great. And maintaining weight is sometimes also really good. It's really about not gaining it, I guess. Especially as we get older, it gets a little bit harder. All right. So I wanted to show us, kind of review where we've been. So again, we started with our focus for the year. And this is the page that you want to go back to for today. And you want to think about all of these things that I focused on, that I wanted to do, or I wanted to use for myself. These become your monthly intentions. So if you feel like okay, I feel like this is now a habit for me, what's your next step then? Do you want to continue to work on your habits and get those to where they're really solid? Or do you want to, you feel good about this part, and then we want to move on to a new piece, so you can try to increase and try to hit all of these pieces that you identified earlier. And then this was our January monthly intentions. So again, we took some of these ideas, and then we're going to work on a couple of those things. And then we have our January tracker. We had our month. We set up our February, again, with the monthly intentions. So this is kind of where we're going to be starting today, is we're going to set this up for March. And when we were here last week, we made these little tabs to help us with with what we need. And then we had our page of things that were going to help us to be grounded. And this was another monthly page. No, excuse me, a weekly page, another weekly page. And this is kind of when I fell off tracking. And then this is our gratitude page. And then this was last week. So this is the last week in February. And I switched up how I did my tracking because I wanted to focus on different things, because I knew for myself that when I'm on vacation weeks and I'm out of routine, I kind of fall off the wagon with everything. But I also just didn't track. So that's where we are, is we're going to set up our monthly page for March. So you're going to turn to that next page, and I want to remind you of some of the tools that we use. So this is the Altenew Color Swatches stencil. This I love to use because this is where I make all of these boxes. So this is fabulous for all of these little boxes. They're really, really fabulous. So this we're going to use when we set up our daily page. And then for the geo frames, I really like these frames because it's a frame and it's really nice to use. And it's something that you can add in, you can put in terms of what you want to write in or shapes that you want to do. Really great. And then I also have the Mandala Maker, and I've been using this for my, I guess you'd call them bullet points. And I've also added them in just for like a little bit of detail. I did that over here. I just added a little bit of detail for this. And I have these two stamp sets. This is Altenew's Mega Brush Alpha. This is great for these really big titles. And then I have this one. This is from Conquer a Knife. And this is an oldie and a goodie. So I've mentioned this before. This is from 2016. And I've loved it because it has two types of font. So it's got this cursive font. It's got capital. It's got lowercase. And then it has a capital, just very, very block print. And you can actually take these cursive letters and you can connect them together. And it actually will show you how to do that you can actually connect them together. I love this font because it's really nice. So those I have today. And then we usually use a little bit of washi tape to kind of use up your washi tape stash. And of course, I have my trusty tiny ruler, which I may or may not have stolen from school. So, and then of course, my Flair pens. So those are the things that I use when I'm journaling. So we're going to start with March. And I'm going to start the set off with another thing of monthly intention. So as you're putting this together, I want you to think about that. What are those monthly intentions? What are those things that you want to focus on for this month? So we're going to go back, because I think a lot of times we really get in and hone in on, the day-to-day minute little tiny things. And it's important to take a moment and step back and look at the 10,000 foot view or the 20,000 foot view, depending on how far back you want to look. And to think about what are the little things that you do? What are the decisions that you make every single day that help you to build the habits that you want in your life? And that's really what we're doing as we're doing this. So even just showing up today or watching this later on, I hope it's becoming a habit for some of you. And please share this, that this is something that's been helpful to you. So I'm going to grab some washi tape. Apologize for just a moment. My washi tape's across the room. And I like to use washi tape because it adds a lot of color very quickly. And of course, for me, I want to use green because when I think about March, I kind of visualize things in colors. And March for me, I think about it as green. So I'm pulling out some greens and I'm pulling out some teals. And I'm kind of messing around with different washies that I have. So these are just some of the washi tapes that I'm grabbing. And again, I'm just pulling these all out of my stash that I have built up over 20 years. I got a lot of washi tape. Not afraid to use it. So pull that washi tape, any of that washi tape. I like to have some different colors, and I like to have different widths. So that way it's a little bit different. Okay, I'm just grabbing some other ones. Oh, this one I've hated. I should use this. Look at this one. I got this as a freebie somewhere. We're pulling that washi tape and grabbing that one. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I even have soccer washi tape. I got a lot of washi tape out there. All right, so I figure you guys do too. So I pulled some washi tape. Of course, you're gonna have to have cat with a string, with a ball of yarn, washi tape. Lawn Fawn has washi? No, I don't know. Does it? I don't think so. This is from We Are Memory Keepers. Tina, don't ask me, or this was Kathy. Kathy, don't ask me where this is from or how old this is. Let's see if they have a date on here. They don't. This probably doesn't even exist anymore. I got it as a freebie to something that I did at some point in time ago. But I'm going to use it today because why not? So I got some green washi tape. And Avril, this is for you because in my mind, March is the month of the Irish. So everything's going to be green. There we go. Oh, Lawn Fawn has adorable washi. Yeah, I'm with you, Kathy. I am not looking there. Not looking. All right, so this is a little bit of rickrack. So I'm just pulling this out of here. I guess I didn't need to. And I'm just going to grab some of this. If they let me open it up. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to pull some of this. And I'm just going to have a border. And I'm just going to use this right across. Here we go. Now I know why I hate this. Okay. My scissors. So I'm just going to do the same thing where I'm going to separate this out into a title section, and I'm going to put in my actual monthly intentions at the bottom. Over on here, what I wanted to do today was to do a stamp all over the page. And we're going to make little 4-leaf clovers using the hearts that are inside of our mandala maker. So I'll show you how to make a clover with those. And Avril, have you found any 4-leaf clovers? Since you are actually in Ireland, I would love to know. Patty is a burger. Oh my gosh. This is a big month. This is a big month. Yes. I was going to say, I took the kids. I had to teach them about St. Patrick. I took them over to church for Lent. Avril. All right. So we got a little bit of rickrack. And I'm just going to put this down. So this is here. And then once I have it down, I'm going to cut it on that side. So I'm just going to pull my washi off of here. And again, I want to try to use colors. I want to try to use items that I have. So shop your stash because I want to, make this pretty. So it's a place that I go to when, and it makes me happy because I'm excited about it. All right, so washi tape. Now, my journal is a dot print journal, so I'm going to use those dots in order to help me line up any of the items that I'm using. But of course, this is washi tape, so it also, if it gets stuck, I can just lift it up without many, many repercussions. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do this approximately right here. And we're just going to have to accept that that's not going to work. All right, I'm just going to cut off that edge. All right, that's kind of cute. I don't know why I have not liked this for so long. Kathy, I think you looked at Lawn Fawn. Kathy, don't do it. Don't buy that washi tape. Use what you have, Kathy. Use what you got. All right, so I can, I'm actually just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut this section of washi tape here. And at the same time, I'm trying to put this other part down. So I'm just trying to cut this right along the edge. That should have worked. It's always hard when it's in these weird locations. I'm trying to do this straight so I don't get a very, very odd section. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. It reminds me a little bit of Charlie Brown. Maybe an Irish Charlie Brown. What do you think, Avril? Irish Charlie Brown. A little bit on that one. All right, so that one's down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put on this side. Let me show you what we're going to do. So we're going to do a little stamping. So I'm going to grab some green, and I like lime green for like my March. When I think about lime green. And if you don't have this set, this is the Spring Bouquet ink set. Really super fabulous because if you like pink and you like green, or you have flowers and you just got some basic things, this set goes a long way with it. And yes, I agree. Anything Irish is good. Anything Irish is good. All right, so I'm just going to grab some blocks. So the cool thing about this is that you can use your hearts, and as long as you turn them around, I'm going to actually use, I think I'm going to put a large one at the top. So I'm going to get I'm going to get 2 different sizes. So out of this mandala maker, I'm going to grab this medium size one. And then I want to grab just slightly smaller than that one, which I think is this. That looks smaller than that, right? Okay, good. All right, so now I am going to stamp this first one in the limeade. So I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. So limeade is the lightest color in this set. I'll just show you what I'm doing. So you put this down, and then you grab the second one. I'm going to put this on a second block just to make my life a little bit easier. And I'm going to grab this in the same color. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to abut the base of the hearts together. And I'm not totally over this. And I actually think I want to leave a little bit of a space. And now we have a clover, kind of a clover. And you can come in with your lime green. If you want to make it a 4-leaf clover, you can. So you would just come in with that larger one. Here, we'll do a little good luck clover. And so now we have our 4-leaf clover, and really super simple way, easy way to make up, to use your heart stamps in a little bit of a different way. So I'm going to stamp these around. So I'm going to start with my larger stamp, and I'm just going to make a bunch of these around. No pattern, no rhyme or reason. And I know I'm going to put the month in, but I'm just going to go ahead and set those up. Then I'm going to come in with my smaller ones. And like I said, you can make 3-leaf clovers. You can make 4-leaf clovers. I kind of want a bunch of 3-leaf clovers. And then I can come in with my pen and I can make a little stem. So now I have my little 3-leaf clover and a stem. I can even, I think if I outline these, that might be kind of cute. So I can come in and outline them. And we can also use different colored inks. So it's up to you what you want to put. Yes, St. Bridget's Cross would be cute. And really simple. It's super simple, easy to do. And what we can do, I'll make these ones with the limeade, and then we'll make some with some of the other different colors. So we'll get a variation of pattern of our clovers. So we got a little field of clovers. And we haven't done this before. When we've made our monthly pages, the first one we used a die cut. The second one we stenciled and used a die cut. So I thought this one would look nice with stamping over the page. And again, because of how my camera is set up, I can't go right up and over this. So if mine are off, I'm okay, because you know what? Clovers are not perfect in real life. Right, Avril? They are, when you look at them, they are very, very different. So they can look very different for you. So some of these will turn into 4-leaf clovers and some not. All right. I'm just going to make this one into a 4-leaf clover. And I'm going to make this one into a 4-leaf clover. And these other two, I'm going to turn into 3-leaf clovers. And when I do my stems, I'm just putting a little line, and then what I'm doing is I'm taking that second line. I'm not doing a second line right next to it, but I'm starting where I started the first line, and I'm just coming out and then making it larger at the base and then coloring that in, just to give it a little bit of a different look. All right, so that's the limeade. Now we can come in and let's try what it looks like with lime. So this one's lime. And this is my larger heart. And we can even put this together where we have one that looks with lime at the top. So you see how pretty that is? And then we'll add some other ones. So I'm going to do some different colors here, so it's not exactly the same all the way through. And then you can mix and match this if you want to put in, you know, one of your clover leaves as lime and the other ones as limeade. That would be kind of cute. You can do that. So it's up to you what you want it to look like. I'm going to do a couple more lime. And I think I'm going to add in, so this is fresh leaf. That's the darkest of this set. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here's one up here. And then I'm going to do the lime on the side. And again, it just gives it a little color variation. These are pretty close. So let me throw that limeade in, because why not? Let's get a little crazy. Fresh leaf lime limeade. Okay, so here's fresh leaf again. I'm going to throw this one over here. And then I'm going to do these two in the limeade. That's a pretty look. And I'm going to do this one as a 4-leaf clover. There we go. So keep on going around. I'm going to do a couple more, and then we're going to take these 2 pages and we're going to go ahead and set our monthly intention. So what do you think? Is this something that you've done before? Have you used your heart stamps as clovers? Really, really super easy to do, and it's nice to stretch your supplies. And for some reason, I always make my stems hook the same way. I don't know why. So have you used your hearts for clovers? So I'm going to kind of mess around, use some different looks, but I'm going to probably stamp about 3 or 4 more of these. So this one is going to be lime, and then it's going to be fresh leaf on the sides. And you can even do second stamping. So let me show you that. So if I get this darkest one, so I'm going to start here, and then there's still ink on here, so I'll do that as well. And then I get 2 impressions for 1. And I'll do that same thing here. So here's fresh leaf. I'm going to put it over on this side instead. And my second impression goes with my first one. And then here's my second leaf. That's going to go there. And then my second impression goes here. So you can do a couple of different techniques this way. And you see now that it starts to be, they're not all the same. They're a little bit different. Isn't it fun, Tina, just decorating the books? I love that part too. All right, I want to make this one a 4-leaf clover because there's no 4-leaf clover over there. And I think I want to make this one a 4-leaf clover. All right, and this one I'll make a normal clover. And I just like the overall effect of the fact that they're all different. So there's different colors to them. And like I said, you can add an outline. I can even come in with a very, very different pen. This is probably a fun thing just to kind of trace that outline on all of them. And just because it adds just a little bit of something extra and defines that edge with these, since this is not a layered stamp. Oh, thanks. All right, so I'm going to add in, let's see, where else do I need? I think I need another one here, and I'm going to add in 2 more. So I'm just going to do these 2, and I'm going to do them as stamp once, stamp second. And then stamp once, stamp second. Stamp once, stamp second. All right, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to make these into 3-leaf clovers. All right, how's your books? I agree, Alicia. I think the fun part is the decorating, and I feel like that is what helps me to stick to it because that's what I like to do. It's enjoyable. I like to get out all my inks, and I like to get out pens and just kind of color everything. And it just kind of helps to set up that week. Makes me feel a little bit better too. And I like that as well. Now I'm going to come in and I have to put my title on here. And I know I did all of this all over the page, but I want my title to go through it. And so I'm probably going to put March up this way. If you're really worried about how you wanted that to be, you can we could have just made sure we made a section to put March or put March first. We could have put that one down initially instead of putting it all through it. But really, really super easy way. And that's where this Mandala Maker stamp set is nice. Or if you have one like this that has a lot of little pieces to it, you can stretch those pieces. So this is the Mandala Maker set. It's got a bunch of cool things. Keep this nearby because we're going to need this in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to grab the geoframe set, and then I need a really big block. Here it is. This is my Mama block. And I'm going to grab this largest rectangle. Now, if you don't have this stamp, you can just use a ruler, and that would totally work for you. Because all we're going to do is we're going to make a rectangle. That's all we're doing, is making a rectangle. Okay. So this is just a rectangle that we're making. So I'm going to grab my jet black ink. Now I have, we figured out before that if there's some sort of solid surface, like if I just press this down because there's nothing resisting this book, it doesn't stamp super great. So I can always go in with a black pen and fix that. Or I can just use something that will resist that. And whether it's another book, and I think I'm just going to grab another book. I've been using my colored pencil box. That's been helping. But I'm just going to grab another book today. And that just gives me a little bit more of a solid surface to stamp on. So let me just show you what I did. So I just have a second book here. So I'm just putting this as a second book on here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this so it is horizontal. So this is, to me, is vertical because it's standing straight up. So I'm going to turn this and I'm going to stamp this vertical. And my jet black ink is in need of some re-inking, which I do not own this one. So I may have to, so I'm really trying to coat it really, really well to try to get as much ink on there as possible. So you may not have to ink it up as much. All right, so I'm going to stamp this pretty much square right the heck in the middle, as close as I can get it. And I'm okay if I'm like, a little slightly off, but that's, you also can take, if you ever have one of those, I don't know what these are called, but one of these things. And I am just trying to make sure that this stamp is making as much contact with that paper. And I am really pushing this down because you get one shot. That's it. You could restamp it, but I am not that good. All right, not bad. Again, if there's any spaces where you want to add, it's like, it's not black enough, you can always go in with your pen and just touch those up just to add that in. Or maybe, you know what? That's the look you're going for, is a little bit of a distressed look. But nobody's going to know. It's cool. It's close. It's pretty good. All right, so now we have our box for intentions. And we have to put in what the heck this is going on. So we need our title up here, and then we need our title for the month. So now I'm going to transfer over to my stamp sets that are alpha, my alpha stamp sets. So these are big. I really don't have the space to do monthly intentions. Those are two really long words. I would have the space to do March. So I am going to do March with this, but I just don't have the space for monthly intentions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the M and the I for monthly intentions here. And then I'm going to do MARCH for March on this side. And again, my black is a little bit in need of a re-inking, so this might take me a bit because I have to really, really make sure this is inked up well. So here's my M. My M is for monthly intentions, and it also is for March. Now this side, when I press down on this side, I don't need to add in another book or anything because this will lie flat on my desk. This side doesn't, which is why I have that book behind that. So there is a book under here, and I'm stamping through that book. Now you might also have, there's washi and there's, maybe die cuts. And I tried not to put a lot of die cuts in here. And that's so I can stamp on this. And so this is relatively flat, but if you're worried about that, you can add in some extra pages. Even like your stamp packet, you can add in some extra pages just to make sure that that's going to lie flat and smooth. So we'll do that and just make sure that's going to work. Okay, and on this side, I don't have anything else, so I don't have to worry about it on this side. So this is my jet black. So I'm going to ink this up twice. This is the M because I'm going to use it on two different places. So this is the beginning of my March. And I'm okay to go over these little guys, these little 4-leaf clovers, because I know that black will be right over there. So I'm okay with that. All right, so how are we doing? Are you guys, is anybody keeping their intentions? Is anybody changing intentions? What are you doing? I'm going to keep some, but I want to change some. And it just happens because I've been sticking to some of them, but I haven't been sticking to them all. And I just need a change. I just need to focus on something else for a little while. And it doesn't mean that I've met those goals. It just means that maybe I want to think about something else. That's all. So let me know, are you sticking? Are you changing your monthly intentions? What are you doing? All right, March A. So now I'm going to keep on going with this. And I'm just going to do March. So MARCH. And again, my jet black is a little dry, so I'm doing the best I can. These will stick together, meaning that you can join them. You can tilt them and move them and join them. So I'm not going to stamp over here. I'm actually going to stamp right on top of that to make it look like the M and the A are connected. So you can see how it looks like it's going to swoop in there. All right, so that's my A. And now I got to find my R. All right, so there's my R. All right. This is good because it's a shorter month. I felt like January and February. It was long. So I couldn't use these. I had to change it up. All right, so again, I'm going to go right over that end of that R. Excuse me, I'm going to put the R on the end of the A so it looks like those are together. And I don't want it to be like exactly in a line, which is why I'm trying to turn them a little bit. And for alphas, I put them immediately back on the sheet because I will lose these and they will be in funny places. And that is not okay. All right, there's my C. So you can see here, that's not going to work because there isn't really anything to connect. So I'm going to put my C next to it. So obviously, if I was writing this, I would have had to pick up my pen to make that C. All right, and then I have H, and then I'm going to grab my I, and then I'm going to work on monthly intentions on that side. So this is my H. Now the C has an end that I can connect the H to. So I'm going to connect these guys. And if you don't get this perfect, you can always come in with a black pen and fix that. There we go. So there's my March. Cute, right? We can add some washi in. I kind of like it like that, but I've been adding some washi down the side. If you want to continue your washi, you want to make some stripes, anything you want to do to add this in just to give it a little bit more flair. But I really like the, I really like those 4-leaf clovers. Those are cute. Okay, so here's my I. So this I, I'm putting right under my M over here. Okay, so that's my I. All right, so now I'm going to switch stamp sets. And whenever I have a long word like intentions, I have to write it out, and then I got to figure out what the heck I'm doing with it. So, oh, it's because I'm using it. Okay. So now I'm going to switch stamp sets. This is perfectly penned. And the reason why I'm switching stamp sets is because these are a lot smaller. Now, if you wanted to, and it would be really cute, is you could go in and start using the sans serif font, which is this font. I think that would be really neat because you got this very, very brush stroke, and then you're just mixing type fonts. And that would be really cute. In fact, I think I'm going to do that today. Instead of going in and using each one of these other ones, I'm going to use the sans serif font. All right, so with this, because there's so many little tiny guys, I grab a large block, or you can grab your plastic or anything at all, and then I just start pulling letters. So I'm going to put it on this block. I'm reserving this block to stamp with, but I'm going to put everything here. I don't usually line them up and then stamp with them because of the fact that there's always the edge on the stamp. And so it's going to be a little bit neater if you end up just stamping them one at a time. I realize my 2 jumped somewhere. These are a little tough because they like to jump. Here's my 2. All right, so let me grab these. This A is dumping. Okay, so we need N, T, H, H, L, and Y. Okay, so that's monthly, except I don't have the T. Here's the T. Okay, now intentions. I do this all the time. Helen thankfully corrected me one time. Oh, here it is. All right, so I got the N, I got the T already. And I got the N. I need got the O, I got the N. And I have a T. So I need an I. This 2 is jumping everywhere. All right, so what I did is I just wrote out the word here, and then I just checked in what letters do I already have on my block and what do I need to pull. So I'm pulling the I. I need an E. And I need the S. All right, and that's it. And then we will just go ahead and work these through. All right, so that's all the letters that I need. I'm going to push this to the side, and then I'm going to start going and moving. All right, so now the O. I don't necessarily line this up on my block because I can just take my block and move it and get it to where I need to go. And again, we're stamping on a book. I'm stamping on this little, this is my thing just to make sure I have a nice smooth surface. Okay, that's the O. N. Now I'm going to do the N twice because I already have it and I know I'm going to be needing it down here. So here's my N. And my N. Okay. And now I need the T. And I'm also going to do the T. I know, right, Avril? I always forget how to do the words and then I end up with a mess. Now, if it's bothering you that this is starting to slide, you can always use your ruler and draw a very faint line. I'm okay with that because I kind of want this page to be a little bit, waggly. I'm okay with that. All right, the H is on its own. And I'm just kind of lining it up with the one that's next to it to make sure that I have the next thing. Okay, L is on its own. And again, I'm not up and over it. So take your care. It's up to you. I would draw a line for you. Oh, that's a great idea, Tina. The halftone heart set is a nice one that has some nice ones in there. And I like this mixing of fonts. So I really do like that. All right, so now I'm going to intention. So I'm literally using what's below me. I have this, and this is what I'm referring to, and this is what I'm looking at to write this all out. Okay, E, go back to the N. Okay, T. Now, because they're on my stamp block, if I'm done with my crafting session, I'll put them away. I don't feel like I need to put them away right now because I have them in a little safe spot. So there are all these little stamps. I know where they are and how to put them back into their home because I tend to lose these. These are always the stamps you get lost, right? O, N. And then S. All right. S's I always have trouble with because sometimes I forget which way is the top and the bottom. There we go. So I have to circle that one around. Okay, so all these stamps, they're over here. I just need to wash these and then I will put them back. Okay, so I got those. Now we have our page done. So this is our March page. And now we're actually going to write in this side where it says monthly intentions. So I'm going to add in some bullet points. And I usually like to have about 3. I would say between 1, 2, and 3. It's up to you. So like I had asked you before, is this, is it something that you're changing? Are you changing your monthly intentions? Are you keeping the monthly intentions that you have? What's your decision that you're doing? And where on February, when I did this, I made my bullet points look like hearts just to show you that. And I even used the heart bullet points in January. I'm actually going to do the 4-leaf clovers here. So I'm going to grab one of the smaller hearts down here, and I'm going to go back to using that limeade ink. So I'm going to grab a small heart, and I'm going to use this for my 4-leaf clover, or my 3-leaf clovers, rather. I should make 4-leaf clovers. My 4-leaf clovers. All right, so I'm going to do my top. I'm going to do my side. And I'm just working right around in a circle. And I'm going to put 3 bullet points for myself here. All right, so that's my first 4-leaf clover. And then here's my second one. 1, 2. With this, you just need to make sure that you have enough space on the left to put that heart in. All right, there's my second one. Just putting my bottom one down here. 2, 3, and 4. So now I have 4 little 4-leaf clover bullet points that match in with what I'm doing. I'm not stamping anymore, so I'm just going to put this on the block to the side, so I'll finish that when we're done. And I think we're done with ink now. All right, so now I'm going to come in. I got my green pen, and I'm going to write down my intentions. And so for this week, and this is where, like I said, you're going to go back and you're going to look. This is your time to think. So if you're not ready to write this down, this is your homework tonight, to go back and think. So where I have had coloring, crafting, and drinking water and moving steps, and I think I did that. Yeah, I think what I want to do is to do, honestly, um, 15 minutes per day. And I'm putting that as exercise because in my recovery, I'm now at a point where I can do some different types of exercises. So I kind of want to figure out what I can actually do now, because before it was just walking. That was the only option I had open to me. But now I'm able to do more things. I'm pretty good with my water. So I want to switch over from there. And I think I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm going to keep these 2 open. I have to reflect a little bit and think about, I'm going to go back to this, and I might not be ready today, but I'm going to go back to this and say, okay, well, what are the things that I did want to focus on? What is it that I feel like this month in March that I want my focus to be? And again, that's the nice part about it being intentions, is that it's not about goals. You're kind of going back and forth and thinking about things and having your priorities. And that's what we're doing. All right. So that's our March page. Pretty cute, right? Okay. So now we're going to move over, and now we're going to set up our next week. So this week coming up, I believe, is the 27th to the 5th. Is that right? Lost my card. So tomorrow's the 27th. So that's February 27th. And what's next Sunday? Somebody's got that out there. Next Sunday is the 5th. All right, so we're going to go to 3-5. All right, so I got my green pens, and I'm going to grab my gray pen, and I'm going to set this up. I've had a lot of success using this habit tracker, so I'm going to go back to this tracker because I think this was really, really helpful to me. And I have some green and white washi that I'm going to use here, so I'm going to use that. All right, so let me put in my week. So I have March, oops, that was wrong. February 27th to March 5th. All right, I'm going to grab some of this thin washi. I think I want to use this lime one. Nope, I'm going to use this one. So out of those washies that I grabbed at the beginning, this was one of the washies. And I'm just going to grab this and put this right here. And I've been kind of playing around with this monochromatic look. I've been liking it. So my monochromatic this time is going to be green. All right, and I'm just moving my washi so the edge of it hits right into that seam of my book. And then I'm just lining this up just to make sure it's somewhat straight with those dots. It's not on this side. Okay, there we go. And then just grabbing some scissors. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. All right, so that's my top of my page. Is that right, Saskia? Your dad's birthday? That's cute. So that's coming up this month? Awesome. Anybody else got anything they're celebrating this month? Nope, that's not what I want to do. Yes, it is what I want to do. All right, so I'm just taking this. I'm just going to separate this down into two sections. And this is our tracking page. And so it's always good to have data to see where you are and what it is that you are focusing on. And I'm just lining that up again with the dots on my page, just making sure that I have that straight. I actually can't tell when things are straight. I have a hard time with that. So I have to use other things. Corned beef on St. Patrick's. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Avril, what do you eat on St. Patrick's Day? I'm curious about that one. We're ham. We always do ham. Oh, and March 20th, the first day of spring. Hopefully that we'll start feeling that. Although around here, spring usually comes around by May, where I am, or at least it starts to feel that way. All right, so those are our two pages that we've starting to set up. So now I'm going to grab the color swatches. And what I do now is I set up, I use this one that's up here, and this is for each of the days. And I like to track what it is that I am eating because it's been helping me. I have to do a food map thing where elimination of foods just to kind of, help you to make, feel a little bit better. And so by tracking what it is that I eat, that's going to help me to determine how am I feeling because I have a mood tracker over on this side. All right, so I'm just lining this up again with the dots. And once I get that first one all set, then I'm going to move it over because now it's all set. So I'm just going to slide that over, then put a little space between it. And so that's how I can make sure that they get lined up. And again, that doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. This is all for you. You're the one tracking everything. Okay. All right. And then we're going to come right down. And this is our, yes, Avril, we're doing Lent. So it's little bit giving up some stuff around here, but yes, sweets, big meal on Easter. Easter feels like it's early this year too, but I know it's different every year. Okay, and then I have my 7th day, so this is day 7. Okay, there we go. So those are all of my days, and now I can come in with my green pen and just add all of those dates. So like February 27th, February 28th, then we switch over to March 1st, March 2nd, March 3rd, March 4th, and March 5th. All right, and then now over on this side, I'm going to add in my habit tracker, but I'm going to, I grabbed my embellished tape. This is my little machine. And I have all this stuff linked with affiliate links if you'd love to use it. Appreciate any support. I think I have to go back in after this is done and add those in, so I will. This I got, this one is lime green and white, and really super easy to change this. All you do is you just open it up, you pull out whatever the heck was there, and then you just pop this sucker in. Just want to make sure that this little piece of paper lines up, and then you just close it again. And now you got lime green. All right, and mine already says habit tracker. So all I got to do in this case is just hit print. And that's just because I haven't labeled anything else this week, so this is what I used. Okay. Cut it with the side, done. All right, and then I get a little green guy here, which is super cute. All right, so I'm going to cut this side off. And then I just fold it and peel this off, and then I can add this in. And it's just nice. You could also, we talked about before, if you like don't have this, just grab some plain washi. And what you can do is you use a Sharpie and you can write on that. So Sharpie writes on everything, which is fabulous about it. And now I get a green, which is cute. I play this game on my phone continuously, so I gave that up this for Lent. So just trying to spend less time on my phone. That's really what I was trying to do for Lent, is just give up my phone. I feel like that phone sometimes, it's hard with the social media because I got to run it as my business, but sometimes the phone is just a lot. So I'm giving that up for Lent. So I'm giving up time on my phone. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to add in my little mood tracker. This mood tracker, I have to say, has probably been the most successful. It was something that I'm able to take to my doctor. It's something that I can do to track how I'm doing. So that's 4. And you can see how easy it is. I just slide it up, and now I get 3. So I got 7, 1 for each day. So I did 4. I slide it up, line this one up, and then I just do the last 3. Really super easy. And all I do is I just put little emojis in there. How am I doing every day? Sometimes I'll put in that I had a late meeting, or that I'm stressed out, or we have a deadline coming up. And then it kind of helps me to say, okay, well, you're not doing great preparing for deadlines. So what do we got to do about that? Okay, so that's my 4. Again, I slide this up. That last one I put into the spot, and then I get 3 more. And 3 more. All right, and then I just can take one of the wider ones. So this is nice because it has all of these different shapes. I'm just going to take one of the wider ones, and I can put that right up here for my title. And I'm going to use this same title block down on the bottom. So I'm going to continue. This is a way that I can keep track. Tina, I'll add it into the, I'll add my affiliate link into the description in the YouTube, like, when you go down, and I'll put that in. It's on the first one. The first video, I think the first and second video I went back, but with the software I'm using, it doesn't self-populate that. So I have to go in and add it each week. All right. So these are pretty big, but I'm okay with that. So I still want to track that water. So this is my water tracking. And then I still want to track, this one is actually going to be my exercise tracking. Okay. And this one is my mood tracker. And I really want to work on coloring. So this is going to be my coloring tracker. All right, so now my last thing is I'm going to put in some graphs, and then I'm going to add some boxes in. So for my graphs, same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and add in just some lines, making sure that I leave some space down here at the bottom. for labeling my axes. And this will help because remember I had 15 minutes was my goal. And then I can write in what type of exercise I did. So if 15, and that's why I think about it is like my goal is up here. So that's 15 minutes. So this is 0. So half of that is 7.5. And then you can just kind of think about it that way. What's half of this and what's half of that? And that even if I just put a little line, that will be that. And I might not be able to do 15 minutes. That's kind of a big, that's a big ask for me right now. But I can probably, I know I can do 10. 15 is going to be a lot. Wednesday. And then I'm just putting the days down here just so I have them. Ooh, yeah. You know, Tina, that's what Savannah did. She gave up ice cream for Lent. So she may be coming in to talk about. Somebody else also gave up ice cream, Savannah.
But I had ice cream today from Bliss.
Right, but
that doesn't count, right?
Yeah, that one doesn't count.
Good.
So
what is Cosmo giving up?
I don't know. All right, so water, I do 80 ounces a day. So again, half of that is right about here, so that's 40 ounces. So half between here and here is 20. And then half between here and here is 60. And it just helps to give you, so you can have that. So let me just show you. I didn't realize how small those numbers are. So those are my 2 graphs. And it's just, again, really nice and simple. I just put a dot in. It's not something I have to think about, but it's just a way to process your day to say like, okay, these are the things that I've been doing. You could even have it do a little Lent tracker if you wanted to do that for how many days, you've been successful for whatever it is that you've decided to give up. All right. So over here is my looking back to look ahead section. And I just make a little box. That's all I'm doing is I just make a little box. I just kind of figure out where is there space. It doesn't have to be too big. I usually just want to make like 1 or 2 bullet points, and I know the size of my own writing. And I like to leave just a little bit of space just for something fun to add in that I might want to color in. So this is my looking back to look ahead. Okay. All right, so that's looking back to look ahead. So I just write that in there. And you can put washi around this. I just take a couple of my green pens or some different colors. And all I do is just make some kind of rough box lines around these just to give it a little bit of extra color. Nothing too crazy. You could do whatever you wanted to. If you want to put in spirals or different stamps, anything at all like that, you want to add in a stamp that has a nice sentiment. You want to put a quote down here at the bottom. That's what I would do too. So those are really pretty. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. I know I haven't been coloring, but I wanted to add in some color. Some color. And I pulled a stamp set that now I can't find. I know it's here. Trust me. It's not here, though. All right. Somebody must have seen it. Geoframes. And my stamp set that I pulled is line art. And line art is this really cool stamp set because it... Oh, no, that's not it. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I swear I had it on my desk. And some gnome came and took it off. Oh, found it. Yes. What I like about line art is it's a silhouette stamp set. And if you're looking at that and you're like, yay, I can't color that in. Yes, you can with either using water brush markers is one way to color it in. I know. I'm glad, Avril. I'm glad it went somewhere. get the skip sentence somewhere. Thanks for shifting it back over to me. But if you grab a block, you can actually color this in with your ink pads. So let me show you what I mean by that. And you can use, I'm going to grab a really big image here. You can even use your blending brushes just to make sure that it's nice and soft in there. So let me show you. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to use those same 3 colors. Avril, I think the third color is, oh, here it is. It's not on your desk. What I do here is I actually start with the lightest color. And so I stamp it all over with the lightest color when I have a silhouette stamp like this. And I'm going to be making kind of an ombre effect with this. So that is all the way over. Then I'm going to grab my second one. And you can do this if you want to with a blending brush, but I'm just going to use the corner. And that's what I like about having the mini pads is I'm just going to go in to the middle and I'm just going to add in a little bit of extra color. And you could do it the other way. I always think about it like lightest to darkest, but I could have gone lightest on the edges to darkest on the bottom. And I'm just adding in a little bit more color. And then I'm going to come in with the last color, which is the darkest, and I'm going to go right on the edge of this. And again, this is a one shot. So if you want to look and see what this would look like and put it on a, a separate sheet of paper, you can do that too. And if there's any edges, because this is a little blotchy, I can just come in and just tap those edges and even add a little bit more color where I want to. All right, so now I'm just going to add this in. Again, nice. You really, really want to make sure that it's hitting that spot and that all of that ink will transfer, especially with something like this. So I'm really making sure that I give this time to make contact and making sure that my book is right under there. So my block is staying still. All I'm doing is just kind of really making sure that there's time for that ink to transfer from the stamp to the paper. And again, if this messes up, that's okay. You can always use a little pen to figure it out. All right. So that's neat because you get this ombre effect where you have light and dark edges, and it's kind of cool looking. And obviously I didn't do a great job there. There's still a little ink on this. So I'm just going to line that up because I have a clear block. I can look right through it, and I just missed that one section. Nope, still did not go down. Okay, something's going on there. I can add more in, but that's kind of one piece that I like. Sometimes I'll write a quote here or something for myself as I go through the week, but just gives it a little bit of color. And in my opinion, it just gives it a little frivolity, just to make it kind of fun. That's there. All right, so I want to know, how are you setting yourself up for the week? Do you feel like you feel good about the week? Are you resetting? Are you thinking about some new things for this month? So just to review what we did, this week we set up our book for March, wrote down our monthly intentions for this month, and then set up our weekly tracker. So this is now all set to be filled in every day. One of the things that I like to do for these trackers is I'll just come in and I will add in the days. So like this is Sunday, so I will add 3-5 here, 3-4, and I'll just add these days in. 2, 3-1. And that way I have this all set up and ready to go. And if you're like, what should that look like? You can go back in. I'll show you when I have my mood trackers filled out that I usually just put in, do another one. I'll just put in little faces. I'll just put in little faces. I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling okay. Maybe I'm not feeling okay. What the heck is going on? And again, I'm able to line this up with things that are going on in the week. I line it up with food. I line it up with my water. Hey, why was I not feeling so great? Oh, maybe it was because my water or my walking or something was going on that it just didn't line up. And so this is just another way to set yourself up for this. And I like to add color. It's just something a little bit fun to do for this one. So this was what we did. We worked on March. And I'm excited, Tina, that you are going to be, catching up with your journal. And it's okay. You know what? Don't even worry about past weeks because that's not important. It's important about moving forward. So just start with this week, and and just start tracking from today on. So if you're new to us and you're like, I haven't, it's the first time that you've seen this, just start. That's really the biggest thing. Is it's about taking a moment to figure out what it is that you need to focus on. What are the habits that you want to put in, and what are the little small decisions that you need to make every day in order to get those habits in. All right, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being with me today on journaling with intention and setting up our journal. And I will see you next week. So this is this is a weekly series that we do, or that I do, and I'm so glad that you guys are working and that you guys are on this path with me. So I really appreciate that. All right, I hope you have a fabulous